He died shortly after turning 18, the very time most young people are beginning to explore life's wonderful possibilities. My friend Ryan was a very bright, very brave, and very normal young man who never wanted to be a symbol or a spokesperson for a deadly disease. Over the years, I've shared many silly, happy, and painful moments with Ryan, and I was with him at the end of his brief but eventful journey. Ryan is gone, and just as anyone who has lost a loved one to AIDS, I miss him deeply and constantly. He is gone, but I want his life to have meaning beyond his passing. It is my hope, President-elect Clinton, that you and your administration commit the resources needed to eliminate this awful disease that took my friend and did with so many colors in life before their time. This song is for you, Ryan. Like a comet blazing across the evening sky, gone too soon. Like a rainbow fading in the twinkling of an eye, gone too soon. Shining sparkling and splendidly bright. One day, gone one night. Like the loss of sunlight, all the good I have done. Too soon. Like a castle built upon a sandy beach. Like a precious sun, that is just beyond your gone too soon. Born to use, to aspire to the light. Here one day, gone one night. Like a sunset, dying at the rising of a moon. Gone too soon. Gone too soon.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. Hello, people. Lately I've just been sitting back and I've been thinking, and even besides all the beefs and the back and forth, and I think my live yesterday when we were talking about the couple that was killed and how insensitive I believe people are to say rest in peace, but they should not. You got to be careful what you said. That really made me think. And so I was thinking about when I get into it with people and I respond to what people are saying to me. And I was like, a lot of time, the last couple of times I heard of Naya, Your AIDS having, you're sick, bitch. And I've heard, and it's mainly been women. It's mainly have been women that is the first thing y'all want to say to a gay person that they have AIDS. And the same way when people tell the other people, I mean, it said you got to be careful what you say. I always look at it this way: only the truth hurts. So those are the people that would get so upset. Only the truth hurts, or you're weak. That has never hurt me when somebody has said those words. Oh, if I had AIDS, I would be the biggest advocate for it. I would have lost a lot of friends. I always tell this story. I looked at a picture from 1984. Me and 9 other gay people, my cousin Roland included. And I looked at, my mother was still here at that time. And I looked at this picture and I realized that I was the only one living. All 8 of them were dead, and I'm the only one still living. And my mother said, you know, was crying. She said, "You miss your friends?" I said, "Yeah, but that's not what these tears are for. The tears are because I'm still here. As sure as they're with them, it could have been me. Lord knows I've done some things that they've done. I've done some things that could have took me out of here. I could have been a person, just like a lot of us. When we are swallowing, and this is not against Anaya, but I'm just going to say, if that's an act that you like to do, if you like to, that, a lot of my friends that aren't here swallow. But I want to let you know that people associate AIDS with gay people, gay men especially. They associate AIDS, and that's the first thing. You're probably sick. You probably got AIDS. And sometimes I chuckle and I laugh at that. And I'm like, they need to do their research before I even start this. Let me say out some names of the friends that I lost that I would love to that I've lost to AIDS. My cousin Roland, Charles, Eric, Ralph, Damien, Mark, Charles Pettis, Charles White, Tippy. Oh my God, Black Diamond. It's so many. I can keep going on and on. And wow, it's so many names I can't even begin to even fathom. In my 42 years of being out, being a proud gay, lesbian, LGBT man, LGBTQ, when y'all say, and make sure y'all support this live, because this is a very emotional live for me, and I might want to go out after this. This is a business. Make sure y'all support this live, because we're gonna put out some statistics and some numbers. So when Roland passed away, we all know that's my favorite. That was my favorite cousin, my Judy, my Ace Boon Coon, my sis, my bitch, all of that. Anything you said, that's what it was. And I don't care whether you agree with homosexuality or you don't. This is something you all need to hear, especially Black women. Because it seemed to be you Black women that are the first ones to jump up and say, you probably get AIDS, you probably, I had a sister that said, you probably got AIDS to me. And she ended up with the thing that Bernie Mac had. And I said, but if I did have AIDS, Magic Johnson is still living, but Bernie Mac is dead. You got to be careful who you put your mouth on. So When Roland passed away, I was scared. He died so quickly. It hit him, at that time we only, the black community here in Detroit, we didn't know anybody that had AIDS. No one. Not a soul. And then Roland and I went to Buffalo, New York, to visit his friend Marcus. And I looked at Marcus and I can tell he looked different. Marcus, shortly after that, Marcus died. It was a group of them: Marcus, Eric, Curtis, Charles. It was about 6 of them. They were all 4 to 5 years older than me. When I came out, I was a newbie. I was young. And I used to say, well, God, because all of them are dead. All of them are dead. All died of AIDS. And that was the first time, I had even known about it, heard about it, or even knew that people were passing away from it. Friend, we knew. And when we did hear about it, it was white people, the white homosexual. They were dying. That's who it was, with the lesions on them and looking sick and all of that. So when Roland passed away, and I was there and I saw how quickly it affected him and his demise from it, I was terrified. Lord, when it's gonna be me? I went and got checked every month. Every time it came back negative, oh Lord Jesus, thank you, Lord. Oh Lord. Then they say it can take up to 5 to 7 years for it to even come up. So I educated myself. Come on, somebody. It's a lot of gay folk that don't want to know, don't go get checked. I would love to know. You can handle it more knowing than not knowing. Even today, it's a lot of gay people that don't know. I was sitting out the park one day, this a couple of years ago, and I was sitting with 3 guys we were sitting on the back of the car, and one guy pulled up. This is a gay park, Palmer Park. And the guy got out the car that we all had known for years. And we could tell he was sick. He had lost all his weight. His face was sunken in. He was on a cane. And the two of the gay guys that was on the back of the car with me was like, oh my God, look at him. Oh, he got the package. That is why when I heard Two Braids said the package, I was like, either he hanging around some gay folk, because gay people are the only one I know that ever used that, but that's neither here nor there. Which takes me to the second part of this video. So anyway, I get up. They said, oh, he probably got the package. Oh, look at him. And they let him have it. And I thought that was so deceitful. And I got up and went and I hugged that guy and gave him a kiss on the cheek. And he looked so surprised, like, you touching me? Baby, you can't give me nothing. God got me. God has got me. And I said, because I said to this, what if that was me? I'm this type of person that I still would have, I don't care if I got sick and my face was sunken and I lost all this weight. I don't care what nobody would say about me. So when y'all say that to me, if I had it, I would not give a damn. I still would come on here. Y'all might say, Michael done lost a lot of weight. Look at him. Baby, I would keep on keeping on. Y'all couldn't stop me. I keep telling y'all I'm undoxable. You bitches could not stop me. I still would come on here. Sunken jaws, eyes bucked out, losing weight, losing hair, but I still be on here. Just as proud. Just as proud. They wouldn't give a damn what y'all said. So the guy was so shocked that I hugged him. And I said, baby, I love you, and I'm praying for you. And he was like, thank you. And I went back and sat on that back of that car and I said, well, you heard, I said, baby, a lot of people out here probably got it. And ain't none of y'all going to get checked for it. Ain't none of y'all going to get checked for it. How about the guy, come on, somebody, that I gave a hug up the head, hug to, He's still living, and two of them people that was on that back of the truck with me is dead. They're dead, but yet they were talking about him. Baby, baby, be careful who you put your mouth on. That man is still living, but the two of the people of the three people that was on the back of that car with me is dead and gone. Dead and gone. So when Roland passed away, I started taking classes for the family, the survivor of people who have died away from AIDS. This was in 1996. Wow, 29 years ago. 29 years ago. Okay. And as we were researching, and I was doing the research, not only was I doing it for Brooklyn to figure out what it was, and just in case I had it, how to save my life, how can I live if I ever got it? And one of the things that I've learned, and it's been that way for a while, is that Black women, come on, somebody, are the highest percentage of people living with HIV, and the highest percentage of newly affected diagnosis. Come on, somebody. Isn't that ironic that the people that will turn and say that gay people got that the most, I mean, got it, and they be the first ones that'll flip that up out their mouth? You probably got AIDS. Ain't you sick? Say it so freely. And half of y'all don't even know y'all got it. You know why? Because y'all don't think y'all can get it. But you do the same damn thing. Some of y'all get fucked in the ass. Y'all swallowing and sucking dick. Those are acts that will help you get it. And even furthermore, the part even more than that is the DL brothers, the down low brothers. It's so many, so many DL brothers. Come on, somebody. It's so many DL brothers. Michael, well, how you know? Because I've had a lot of them. I know so many men still to this day that's having sex with people that I know that is HIV positive and are married, going home to their wife. I don't know if they're using condoms or not. I can't, it's illegal to tell somebody's business. It's illegal. People don't even know that. Once I went to these groups and stuff, and if I saw somebody going home with somebody I knew, and I knew that that one person was positive or had AIDS, I could go to jail for pulling that person to the side and saying, "Hey, you be careful, they got AIDS or they got the HIV positive." Because you know what? And that they could prove that I was the one that told it. I could be in trouble. I could be in trouble for telling somebody's business. Like a lot of y'all keep saying that. You know how y'all can be sued. If I took the time and if it bothered me that much, I could sue I could have sued denying them for saying it. When local Libra said it, everybody has said it. I could have sued that, but why? Why? Only the truth hurts. Black women in the United States have a disproportionately high percentage of HIV diagnosis and prevalence compared to other racial and ethnic groups. But yet y'all are the ones that be the first one to jump up and say what somebody got, what a gay guy got. Come on, somebody. April says yupper hipper. All of they don't get that. If I took the recording of what people have said about me when it comes to that and fought it, listen while cooking in the bushes. Glad you are covering this topic, Mike. Much respect. So thank you, Brent. Let me say hey to everybody. Brent, hello, everybody. Jalea in the building. A happy wife life. Hood Edition News. Hey, baby. April, Queen. The Queen is in the building. Um, Shawanda, hi. What is going on? What's going on? How everybody doing? If I missed the name, my bad. But I just wanted to hit this on the nail because stop thinking as black women that you're exempt from this. April says defamation of character as well. But I was listening to Anaya go so strong, you sick bitch. And I was like, wow. So sad. So sad. So a lot of DL men, and believe it or not, a lot of people think, DL men, that's a high percentage of why black women get it. And needle users, people that shoot drugs, there's such a high percentage as well. And a lot of you women out here having sex with these men don't even know they're shooting drugs and they sharing needles. Y'all are more at risk for a lot of different reasons than the gay black man is. So y'all need to be friends with gay men and stop calling them out. That way, they'll let you know, wait, girl, your man is fucking around. That's an inside source. One lady, I remember rolling with this one guy. We didn't know that, but Roller was messing around with the lady's man. And this lady was calling Roller all kind of stuff, even before she knew it. And I wanted to tell her so bad, girl, be careful, go check yourself. Now, that was just why you keep saying we got AIDS, or, y'all putting yourself at risk. And y'all are messing with the people that could be your allies, the people that could help you and let you know if your man messing around, because it's a whole lot of DL men. Men that may have you got some men out here that may have only messed around once. But once is all it takes. You got some men out here that have done it before they got married or during their marriage. There will always be DL men, bisexual men. That's never going to change. Never going to change. I appreciate you, Mike. Thanks for speaking. Speaking the truth. I'm still here listening. That is never going to change. Baby, I have women in my family still to this day don't know they men messed around. Cousins that have messed around, I know they have. Got whole families. Wives are oblivious. But be the first ones to jump up and say somebody's sick. Baby, you laying down with the same shit that somebody else that you probably talking about. You're not exempt. In this new day and age, bisexuality is so fluent. I don't know too many men that don't mess around. I don't. I don't know too many men that I know that's so-called. Let me tell y'all this. Y'all already know, what do I say? I don't mess around with feminine guys. I don't like guys that wear fingernail polish, none of that. I don't even like men that switch. that dress feminine, I like real men. And you know what comes along with liking those type of men? Those are men that are in relationships with women or fathers that live a heterosexual life. And most of the time, I'm not one that will mess around with somebody that has a woman and all of that. But a lot of them lie. Is it up to me to dig and research? And if me and this motherfucker is messing around and ain't nobody, and I don't know, am I supposed to go research it? If it's a cute, oh man, and the sex is good and we out in public together, because you got some down low men that I've had men that we have went out into to restaurants and to open outdoor events, and not once did I ever think that he had somebody, because he didn't give any of them signs. He was so freely and so open. We're laughing and we're talking, and I'm Googling, looking at him googly eyed and all of that. People looking at us, you can tell we were out on a date together, and they have had a whole woman and a family and kids, and I did not know because the signs were not there. They didn't show me anything that would have made me feel like they were hiding something. Come on, somebody. So you have some good people out here. One of the best ways not to make nobody think nothing is not to act. And I know so many men like that. Come on. So while y'all out here spilling and throwing mud on people, mm, and then they go home to y'all. Y'all in love. Y'all so oblivious. And then they come and get in your bed. And most of your men getting fucked in the ass. I hate to be so vulgar, but a lot of the men ain't the ones they getting screwed. I have been so shocked to see these men I have one friend, I'm not going to say they're no longer here either. He had 8 or 9 kids, had Papa baby, but love would get in the bed and bend over and spread eagle and doggy style like a woman, but yet he go home and be a man. Y'all know how many men are like that? Y'all like these women thinking they got these strong black stallion men, and that man is a bitch in the bed when it comes to a woman. Some of you ladies, some of these niggas y'all in love with are women in a bed when it comes to being with a man. He ain't, remember Johnny just said, oh, so you the one doing the bit? No, I'm the one. All of that. So I start, it said, where are black women?
In the United States, as quiet as it's kept, 1 in 5 HIV infections actually occurs amongst women. And the majority of those women are black women who are infected with HIV. What the data shows is that when you compare black women and white women who are infected with HIV, the black women who become infected with HIV actually have fewer sexual partners, are more likely to use condoms, and yet are more likely to become infected with HIV because there's more HIV in the communities in which they're having sex. Nobody wants to be a statistic, right? You want to be a person. If you're in a community where there's a lot of HIV and you don't know it, the chances of you getting it are higher. We keep thinking of HIV as something that only happens in those communities, then
Say
we'll get
that.
tested. Because you'll say, oh, that's not me.
Say
I don't
that.
fit that bill. I'm not that person, so I don't need to get tested. Not because you didn't make all the right choices, but because you allowed the story to stop you from getting tested.
Come on. I wonder how many black women have actually even has been tested. Oh, because I've been in a long relationship. I've been married to this man so long. Oh, this would never happen to me. And then you look up one day and you're HIV positive. But yet you've been the one that's always looking at the gay man. First time y'all get into it, you're sissy. You probably got HIV. You probably got AIDS. And you not even knowing that you are high certificate.
As an African American woman living with HIV and being diagnosed at a young age and having the opportunity and a blessing to birth an HIV negative baby in this world and to not pass it on to my partner, I would like to encourage all women to respect yourself, check yourself, and protect yourself because no one else can do that better than you.
I'm the HIV education consultant. I've been thriving with HIV since 2001. I believe that after my diagnosis, it's my job to help those who need help. We need to learn how to educate. We need to learn how to have the conversations. I believe that we as women should be educated. We should learn to love one another. We should be able to communicate with our spouses and our significant others so that we can get tested. HIV was supposed to be my stumbling block, but God and I made it my stepping stone because I'm living my best life, even as an HIV positive woman.
It's not a lifetime sentence anymore. Thankfully, all the people that has dealt with this situation prior to, they have taken tests for us to be able to have medications a day that we can live longer. So it's best that we all take advantage of the situation and take all our meds as prescribed by the doctor and do what we need to do because we have kids, we have loved ones that want us here, we have people that we need to teach and let them know that this is not a death sentence. I have pursued my dreams. I've still lived my life as normal. I went on and I've had children. I have continued on with my career. I'm going to school. I'm pursuing my education. I have retired from the military. I'm doing it all. I don't care what the situation may be in life. I'm still going to live my life. I still have a name to make for myself. My name is all that I have. And one thing about it is that I'm not a quitter. I've never been a loser. And I'm not going to start today or any day just because I've been diagnosed with something.
My journey has been a hard one. I suffer from depression, but now I'm living a long, healthy life. I'm enjoying my life. HIV does not define me. I anchored myself in the Lord, and I got into support groups that helped me to deal with my HIV and to show me that I can live a healthy life. Being around other women that help to have it, that gave me the motivation. And then to see other people that live 30 years with it, let me know that I could live to be 100 if that's what I so choose. My advice to women that have HIV, and especially ones that's newly diagnosed, is to find you a caseworker, find someone that you can talk to, that you can rely on, that you know that's going to be there for you. There's a lot of support groups out there. There's a lot of places that will support you. So get into those things for you to become strong. And then you'll know that you can be healthy and do what you need to do to live a long life.
And that's not a death sentence anymore. And I always tell people this. And then let me tell you something, ladies. There is a difference between being HIV positive and having AIDS. Those are two different diagnoses. And a lot of y'all just clump it all together. And it's two different things. I have known people that has the advocate, the guy Rondo that y'all see me interview, I think he's had it for over 40 years. Well, almost 40 years. So she's right, it's not a death sentence. But a lot of these faces of HIV are women. Yes, there's a lot of gay men that have it. Yes, a lot of gay men have, I know, that have died from it. But a lot of them, they have whole support groups just for women with HIV and AIDS. So instead of putting the black gay man down, lift your black sisters up that are out here struggling and fighting with it. We're not your enemy. The DL men you lay down with, the undercover brothers that you so in love with that you said I do too, but they always coming to us at night saying I will. You said I do to them, but they say I will to us. It ain't my fault that you don't know. But the more you talk about us, the dumber it makes you look. Look, let's listen to Renee's story.
When I was first diagnosed, it was November 21st, 2007. I found out 3 weeks before, which was the first week of November, that I was pregnant with twins. And so I made a prenatal appointment with the doctors. By then, I was living in South Carolina with my new husband. I was a newlywed, and went to an appointment the 21st, which was the day before Thanksgiving of that year. And went in for being dehydrated. I kept throwing up and just not feeling well. And when I went in, she had already did labs. So she said, okay, well, I have your labs back. And I said, okay, well, is everything okay with my labs? And she said, oh yeah, everything's fine. We just have one problem. And I'm like, okay, what's the one problem that we have? Is it diabetes? Because I've had gestational diabetes with my 8-year-old. She's like, well, no. Can we ask your husband to step out of the room? So I'm like, okay. So she asked him to step out. She basically just looked at me and said, you tested positive for HIV. And I kind of got into a blank stare. I looked over at the wall because that was really the only thing I wanted to focus on. I didn't want to look her in the face. I didn't want to, I was completely in shock along with not feeling well. And she said, well, do you want us to bring your husband back in the room? I said, sure, bring him back in, because guess what? If I'm HIV positive, he's the reason why. So she brought him back in the room, and I can remember that day as if it happened yesterday. He just looked in shock when she told him, and it wasn't a shocked look as if, oh, she could have given me HIV. It was more of a look like, wow, she found out.
Wow. I
left him on January 1st, 2008. February 14th, actually the beginning of February, I was sitting at home and I was looking at the news, and there was a story that came across where there was a homosexual couple, an older male and a younger male. The older male had knowingly infected his younger male partner. And at that moment, I found...
And that happens in the gay community so much. I thank God when I was younger, I remember leaving the bar because, we all had hookups, one night stands. And I remember leaving the bar. I was young. And me and the guy went back. He had a beautiful apartment, and I'm looking, we had cocktails, and we were kissing, and I was like, shit, I'm gonna get some of this. I hadn't thought about condoms or nothing because at that time that wasn't even something we talked about or thought about. And as I was sitting there and I was butt naked and they were naked, and they said, look, I got to tell you something before we do this. And I was like, what? They said, look, I'm HIV positive. And something hit me. This is even before Roland passed, so I even knew about Roland. And I said, oh my God. I sobered up real quick. And I said, you know what? Thank you. And they sat down. I didn't have sex with them because I was naive at that time. I didn't know. But I didn't leave. And we cuddled and I thanked them. Every time I saw that person after that, I thanked them because I could have had sex with them and they could have easily transmitted it to me. And I would, you know what I'm saying? And I thanked him for it. So that's why I would tell anybody. I know so many people that knowingly infect other people. Knowingly. Men that will give it. I know some people that wanted to give it to as many people as they could. They felt like, if I'm dying, I'm taking everybody with me. You have people like that still to this day. So when y'all want to throw it off on gay folk, it's a lot of so-called straight folk. Even women. I know some women that want to give it to everybody because they're mad. Why me? Why me?
Out that knowingly infecting someone without disclosing your status to them was a felony crime in the state of Florida.
Yeah.
So what I did, I immediately got on the phone, called the sex crimes unit at the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, spoke with the detective, and I let him know what was going on. He let me know, okay, well, get us a police report, which I did. And once they got their police report, the first thing they wanted to do is to get a recorded confession from my ex-husband. So I'm like, okay, how am I going to get a recorded confession, you know? And he's all the way in South Carolina. Here I'm in Florida, you know. So at this time, he's begging me to come back to South Carolina to stay married to him. So, okay, let me use this to my advantage. So over the course of the couple days, I kind of played it off. Yeah, I might come back home. And yeah, I miss you. Yeah, I still love you. Knowing good and well, I absolutely, positively did not love him anymore, and I was not going back. February 14th, Valentine's Day. His Valentine's Day gift for me was calling him with the detective on three-way with the recorder on while I'm asking him every question that the detective wanted me to ask. Because before we did the three-way, I said, okay, well, what do you want to know? I said, okay, well, now I got to figure out how am I going to get these questions to him and him answer them. So I called him. I'm all sad. I'm like, okay, well, I got to go see a psychologist. And they gave me a questionnaire, and I need all these questions answered so they could treat me. Whoop-de-woo. He answered every single question. He answered questions about how he was diagnosed, when he was diagnosed, how long did he know, which he had known he was positive since 2002.
Wow.
He answered questions about, you know, did he know how he got it, which he didn't know. And by then I had found out that he was not only sleeping with other women, but also other men.
Come on.
And once I got the recorded confession, they issued a nationwide warrant for his arrest. They went to South Carolina. They arrested him. Took months, but they extradited him back to Jacksonville. He pled guilty. He got sentenced for the maximum in the state of Florida, which is only, I hate it, but it's only 5 years in the state of Florida. He got 6 months served, so he only had to do 4.5 years. And he's scheduled to get out March of next year. March 2012, he's scheduled to be released.
So now look, I want y'all to listen to this.
I'm a person that has it.
I want y'all to listen to this one. See, that has no, it ain't just, HIV and AIDS just don't go to the gay folk, black women, young women, white women, but it goes to everybody. Listen to Alice. She's a senior citizen, baby. So while y'all putting this stuff on other people, baby, you better be careful. For your older people that think that you can get it, let's listen to her.
HIV for, I would guess, around 20 years. And I also have OLD being 78 years old, which makes me have that disease also. And you want to know how I contracted what both diseases? Living too long and being careless. I had careless sex with a gentleman that I was very much in love with. And at at the age of 60, you're lucky when you find someone you like. And we had a beautiful relationship. I'm not
60
angry
years old.
at this person that I contacted HIV from. But it was a beautiful relationship. In the beginning, we used condom. I had sense enough to know that. I was an infection control nurse. We used a condom for about 5 years. And then we decided we were both old. We had made plans for what we were going to do. My kids were grown, his were grown, everybody was settled. We decided then, he decided, really he didn't decide, we discussed it, of the time it took for him to put on his condom every time.
I want y'all to see. I would like y'all to see how old this lady is. Let me do this. Let's do this. Let's see how old.
So I agreed with him. Yep, he had retired by then. And so we decided to give up the condom. We would just have fun. Last swing and having fun with sex. And
okay, I don't. The reason I'm not going to keep playing it because I don't know. I got a copyright last night for whatever video I played, so I'm not going to continue to play them because I don't know. I'm not going to show them. I'm sure I can't get in trouble for the boy, but I just wanted y'all to see. This lady got gray hair. She's older. You would never think, and she got it when she was in 65, 66. There's people walking around every day that you would never know. It's not a certain look that you got to have. Latte says, it's so sad. Think about it. One of the simplest explanation is that men tend to deal with several women at a time. Some are straight, some are gay, but they tend to have several women partners. Come on, y'all. Make sure y'all support the channel tonight, y'all. It's a very emotional one for me. Make sure y'all support the channel. Hit that thumbs up button, please. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. And remember, it's a business. All right, here we go. So this is Alice, a senior. Well, I'm getting hot in here. This is hold on. So sad. Are you still friends with him now? See me? Yes, we're still friends. Still friends. And I haven't seen him in a while. I would not judge people. Hey, Upward. Okay, let's finish listening to Alice's story.
So I got him into Ford's Hospital, and he must have been there about 2 weeks before.
And she's here in Detroit.
He was so contested finally a doctor approached him with maybe he should take the AIDS test. And he did. And there it was. My partner probably contracted the disease through drug abuse. I really don't think he cheated on me. It was too fine. How could he cheat on me? He probably contacted it through old IV drug use that, but by us using the condom at first, it never affected me. After we quit using it, then his came out and mine came out. We never even considered treatment until he got so sick till he took the treatment. They were treating him for it about 2 years before he finally died. Say I had the disease for about 10 years before. I didn't want anyone to know. Such a stigma behind having this disease until you just hide it from everybody. And you function, and by being a nurse, I try to take good care of myself. drank the orange juice like that was going to protect me. I ran from doctor to doctor. Oh, the guy must have had about 4 or 5 scopes where they went down my throat. Now there's all this fungus here, but they kept scoping me. It's so good. Okay. As long as they didn't mention, I said, well, whatever, they'll either cure me of this disease with other treatments without me ever being tested for AIDS, because I was never tested for HIV. I'd catch the train and go all the way to Ann Arbor to the University of Michigan Hospital. It sounds silly now that I was just this dumb that I'd ride this train with them all the way to University of Michigan Hospital and go through every little test they wanted me. They was gonna give me another scope, go down there and see if there's something wrong with my esophagus by now. I said, no, I tell you what, I'm going to take the HIV test the next time I come back. And the lady, the little nurse, the little physician, you know how they have all these practicing physicians, they said. And she says, why do you want to take that test? Now, I can't very well tell her, hey, I've been hiding this disease for almost 10 years. But I finally said, well, I'm going to take it. She says, well, you go home, Mr. Enrique, and think about it, and we'll give you the test the next time you can. Well, we went back for the results, which was like a week later. My other sister went with me, and that's when we got the results that I was positive. I don't want to do anything about it. So my older sister, she just wasn't satisfied with that. She's a nosy wench anyway, but I love her, you know, because she said, no, I can't let you just lay here and die. I'm going to go and look up some treatments. So she scouted around and finally found a place out in Bloomfield Hills. So they got me in there. But I didn't like the doctor. But I didn't really care for him. I didn't like the way he approached my disease. You know, it's just, he didn't have the right bedside manner. Maybe we'll put it that way. So I decided, okay, give me all this medicine. He gave me tons of medicine, like 5 pills of this a day and 20 of this a day and 6, and I knew I wasn't going to take any of that medication. How am I going to take this medication? I'd never taken a pill before in my life, you know. So I went home. My younger sister, she was so sweet. She made up all kind of medication charts for me to take these medications at certain times of the day. Okay, sweetheart, good. Put them in the drawer, and that was the end of that. Till I started getting weaker and weaker. My sister decided one night, we are going to the hospital. Come on, out of this bed. I was planning me a trip through the Panama Canal. I was going to go take me the 15-day trip through the Panama Canal.
Come on.
And forget it. Come back and lay down and die. That's when my sister said, we are going out of here tonight. I mean, we're going out tonight. You're going to the hospital. You're dehydrated. The whole works is working now. So I went with her over to, it's not Hutzel. It's Hutzel Hospital. I went in the emergency room with her there. They gave me the fluid, and I just told them I have HIV because they had to invade. To get the IV, I knew that I must tell her so she wouldn't just put something in my arm without knowing she could catch it. So I couldn't do that to another nurse.
Right.
So I got the IV. They gave me plenty of Dextrose and water, you know, and blew me back up again. So the next day, my sister said, well, okay, you want to take a trip? Good. Well, I'm going to arrange for your granddaughter to go with you on this trip because I don't want to go. And what I'll do, but you must promise me you'll go into treatment. When I came back for the 3 days, I went back in like I promised. And I've been in treatment ever since. And I'm so happy about it. Hey, if somebody talk about dying, I kill them. I had made up my mind to that, but hey, it all became different once I started feeling good again, taking the medication, conforming now, so they got rid of the fungus in my throat, and it was all upstream from there. There's other diseases that they can't cure. There's diabetes, heart diseases that they can't cure. So if there's no cure for AIDS, but people get into treatment and they can be maintained a long time. I'm here at 78 to tell you that once you're in treatment, if you show up positive, you can get treatment for it and live any life you want to live. Might not be the lifestyle you want, but it's a good life. Hey, any life is a good life. And so my advice to all seniors would be tested. If you're negative, hey, you're ahead of the game. Now use safe sex. If you're positive, get in treatment and live again. That's it.
Come on and live again. And listen, it ain't no secret of half of us, 55 and older, we seniors. That lady's got it from a drug user. Come on. These are black women. But let me listen to this story where a black man didn't tell his partners. Didn't tell his partners. Come on, y'all.
An unprecedented trial in the tri-state. You're about to hear the exclusive story behind the alleged crimes. The case involves a former professional wrestler charged with not telling his many sex partners that he is HIV positive. One woman who knows the circumstances all too well is now telling her story only to the I-Team's Hagit Lamore.
Me and the baby here. Alex Uline can't afford to break down.
You want some too?
There's too much at stake.
Good boy.
Like teaching 2-year-old Maya the ABC song.
TV.
Or trying to keep up with 1-year-old AJ. They are for 2 children with Andre Davis, a man who looked far different, as a wrestler who called himself Andre Hart. He stole her heart when she was just 20. Within a year, he got an offer from the WWE, an offer then withdrawn because his physical showed Davis was HIV positive.
And he told me right away, and at that time I was pregnant, it was just very, very shocking, and just, don't know what to think at that time. Very hard.
But the worst was yet to come. Court records spell out the sad details. 12 women who claimed after his diagnosis, Davis had sex with them, but never told his HIV status. SL, KC, SG, MS, a veritable alphabet soup of women now fearing they're infected too.
I was shocked. I didn't know what to believe.
It's a magnitude prosecutors say is unparalleled in this region. They charged Davis with 15 counts of felonious assault. When he goes on trial this week, he's looking at up to 120 years in prison.
Wow.
If convicted.
What has he said about these charges? He's he doesn't deny them. He's not saying that that he didn't. I feel like he knows what he was doing now, and he knows that it was wrong, and he's very, very sorry. I know that for a fact, but it doesn't change that what he did.
You can feel the conflict rolling off this young mom, still making excuses for her children's father.
And it's not like somebody was trying, okay, well, I'm going to go out here and try to give this to these people. It's not like it was.
But he didn't tell them that
He
he was
didn't,
HIV positive.
Exactly, and that's wrong in itself right there. But I think definitely he should pay for what he did.
But Alex says he's not the only one paying. She says her kids are too.
They have been discriminated against at their daycare.
Maya and AJ attended the Blue Ash Educational Building. Alex says she told the assistant director here about their father's arrest and status. Confidentially, she thought.
And I said, well, the kids are okay. I just want to let you know they're fine. They don't have anything to do with this. They are completely fine.
A few months ago, she says that same manager started pressuring her to prove the kids aren't infected. Alex says they're not, but regardless, the Americans with Disabilities Act says daycare providers don't have the right to require a child's HIV status. She says the note from their pediatrician clearing them for daycare should suffice.
Exactly, nothing. They don't even have anything, let alone, the fact that they want to, break my kids' privacy laws.
That's the part chafing Alex. After she rebuffed the assistant director, she says she got a call from the owner with more pressure to provide private medical records.
And he said that, somebody had informed the parents and the teachers about this.
Hi, is Mary Lynn here? We tried to talk to that assistant director.
She's actually involved in the program.
She wouldn't come to the door or answer our calls. We did get this letter from attorney R.L. Kent Boussier. He cited privacy protections to prevent any discussion of enrollment questions, but asked us to fax him any other questions. We did. He never responded. It's all been too much for Alex. She pulled the kids out of the daycare, away from the only center they'd attended and the workers they'd known.
They're getting punished for something that they didn't do.
Now, I'll say this, and it's not making an excuse. There are a lot of people that have it, that are HIV positive or have AIDS, that really don't know how to tell people. That don't make it right. That don't make it right. It's still a crime. But it's amazing how people will treat people different. When my cousin Roland left here, and I would go and I would attend meetings and I would listen to these people about how different their families would treat them. Or about listening to families that said, you know what? They wouldn't even let the person that was HIV positive or had AIDS, they would give them paper plates. They wouldn't let them eat off the dishes. They would, when they used the bathroom, they would go in and scrub it down and bleach it down. And I could only imagine how that would feel. If I went and used my parents' bathroom, and they come in there with bleach and spraying it down with Lysol, everybody else eating off real dishes, and I'm sitting here with a paper plate. That would have killed me. But I don't think my mother would have ever done that to me. I don't think she would have. Now, I'll tell you this. I'll never forget. Years ago, Roland he was working in the shop. And I would go get tested all the time because I was a hoe. I accepted my holism once I knew what it was. I started protecting myself, but I knew I had did some horrid things. And I would go get tested so much. I'll never forget Roland there. Roland saying to me, damn, why you go get tested so much? You think you got something? I said, hey, I'm surprised when it come back negative. I know what I've done. And I remember him saying to me, well, I wouldn't want to know. I would not want to know if I had it. And that baffled me. And I said, shit, I would want to know, because if you know, it's better to know than not know. If you know, then you can take the proper precautions. And so I don't think there's nobody giving to somebody. I don't think people give it to some people on purpose. But I do think they have an idea that something is wrong with them. You know what's something wrong with your body. You know when things ain't going right. And so I think so they don't have to tell people. They never go and find out. They never go and find out. Roland left him. My cousin left him never truly knowing. He knew something was wrong with him, but he had never ever been diagnosed. See, back in the day, in the 90s, 80s and 90s, if you wouldn't got tested, it took a week. It took a week for you to get your result. You had to wait a whole week. Now they can tell you in a couple of hours. So I remember, and I thank God for Roland, because there would be time. Roland was the one where I can be in the room with somebody here and knock on the door, be like, here's a condom. You got a condom? Looking out for me. And he's been gone for 29 years. But I remember him being in the hospital and nobody was there but me. Excuse me, I'm eating Dorito. And I remember them standing there going down a list of everything Roland had. And like, I didn't know. I'm not going to disclose them on here. But I was like, wow. He had things he never told me about. And I was shocked. And they was waiting on his result. And when they told me that he had AIDS, I asked them not to tell him, and that could I tell him. And I'm surprised they agreed to that. And I never told him. I never said that to him. Because I think he already knew. But he officially did not ever hear the news because I never told him. So when you people sit there and we going at it back and forth, and you thinking that you can use those words that, oh, Simi, oh, you got AIDS, that don't hurt me, boo. That don't. But you probably need to go get yourself checked. You probably need to go get yourself checked. And it also made say, look how deep and such to a hurtful place people will go. You talk about my mama, that bitch, you know, and blah blah blah, and that ain't good enough. So now you want to say, oh, your AIDS having motherfucker. And the part about this, when you go that low, there's nowhere to go. You can't go any lower. So that's what I don't understand about you guys. Y'all use up everything. Cause once you're talking about somebody's mom and somebody's health, where can you go from there? And then when I respond, because all I've done now is just let y'all have it with what I've seen y'all do. Y'all didn't want to slow it, you got me. So now, when I go there, and I'm gonna go low now, because see, I still got room to go low because I didn't let y'all have it just with my wit and my charm and my funniness. And so now, let me go low. And oh, it's my God, how could he do that? You know, these double standards in these YouTube shoots is hilarious. But I must say this, hey Joy, you have to be careful because there's so many. I can play story after story of a black woman that has been out here HIV positive and don't even know it. Because you got a man. Come on, somebody. You got a man. Mhm, that likes his cake and eat it too. Let's listen to this.
Dr. Harder, thanks so much for joining us. Let's talk a little bit about this study. You're the designer of this study, correct? You found some alarming results. Tell us more.
Well, the ISIS study was a study that looked at new HIV infections in women. And in the United States, HIV is infections occur in hotspots. So it's not a generalized infection like occurs in some parts of sub-Saharan Africa. And so what we did is enroll women in those areas that were hardest hit by the HIV community. And what we found is that the incidence, not surprisingly, was 0.24%. That might not sound like a lot, but that's 1 in 400 people. And it is higher than the new infections that have been estimated across the United States. But of course, that's not surprising, because if you look where HIV infection is most concentrated, you would expect to see a higher incidence.
But what's particularly alarming was how hard hit African American women are. Yes, tell me more.
Yeah, so roughly 25% of new HIV infections in the US are in women, but 2/3 of new HIV infections in US women are Black women, despite the fact that Black women constitute 14% of the US population. So this group is particularly hard hit, and the ISIS study actually consisted of 88% Black women. And I think some of the most interesting findings were the fact that individuals, women who had a history of past HIV positive test, were excluded from the study, and yet 32 women came into the study, and that's 1.5%, and had evidence of HIV infection, suggesting that, despite the fact that there's been a lot around testing, there's really not been sufficient concentration in these areas or hotspots, such that a large percentage of women came into our study infected.
And why are African American women being hit so hard? Why are the rates particularly high? There's education now. There's treatment. Yes.
Yes, there is, but I think that there are lots of barriers to healthcare, to testing in some communities, which makes HIV infection much more common in those communities. And if the infection is more common, then you're much more likely to encounter a sexual partner who has HIV infection. I think that there's enormous stigma that occurs in some communities that really negatively impacts folks wanting to get tested and wanting to know a diagnosis. I think there are sort of lots of probably other factors that we don't even know, but it's clearly multifactorial. But I think one of the other findings that was very important is that the fact that it was most strongly associated with HIV infection in women was, not surprisingly, having a sexual partner who had HIV. And yet more than 40% of women in the study did not know the HIV status of their sexual partner. And so I think that, that finding and others from the study really suggest avenues that should be pursued for HIV prevention programs in this population.
Certainly a wake-up call. What are the answers?
I think the answers are concentrating where the hotspots are, and incidentally, the CDC, almost at the same time that the ISIS results were presented at the retrovirus meeting, announced a program in some of the ISIS cities, as well as others, to really concentrate testing efforts and education efforts among Black women in those areas. So I think education, I think testing, and I think really getting the message out that HIV is not curable, but it is a treatable disease. And many of the folks that get diagnosed and come to our place, feel that it's still a death sentence. They don't want to be there. And we know that effective treatment suppressing the virus can decrease transmission 96%.
Thank you so much for the information, Dr. Sally Hodder. We appreciate you joining us.
Thank you.
How many people know their status How many women on here even feel like they need to go be tested? I wonder.
I am Shadama Kids. Bold, beautiful, black woman.
I wonder how many women on here actually their status, especially those ones that would say to a gay guy, "You're sick." Do you know your status? Have you been tested? Because a lot of y'all think that y'all are exempt and that it's just a black gay man thing. I know so many black women that are HIV positive. People that you would look at and would never even be able to tell. But a lot of y'all don't even know your status. While y'all talking about people, while you calling other people out, talking about other people sick, and don't even know your own status. Those be the main ones that be yelling and telling baby, "Oh, you sick, you got this and that." Those be the ones that don't even know their own status. Ain't never took a HIV test. But so quick to jump up and try to call out somebody else's. It is really, listen to this next story.
Living with HIV. This is my story. I welcome you into a part of my journey. And today I'm excited about this opportunity to sit with you and just give you a little bit about me. Recently, a lot of people have been asking me a lot of questions about why do I do the things that I do. Recently, I have become very, very vocal, a lot more vocal than just my usual World AIDS Day post, a lot of more than just Women and Girls Day awareness and different things like that.
It's 20 people in here. Hashtag that I put it. It's 20 people in here. You don't have to share that. Put a 1 in here if you've ever taken an HIV test. Put a 2 in here if you know your status. And I think there's predominantly women in here, predominantly black women. Put a 1 in this chat if you know your stat. Well, put a 1 in here if you ever taken an HIV test. Put a 2 in here if you know your status. And be honest. Maybe I should do a poll, but be honest. I'm not asking you what it is, but you know, women usually don't. I ask a lot of women that. Most of the time, a lot of women don't even feel like they need to even take one, and that is alarming. That's why, especially when you have black women that's telling me what I am and what I got, and I have to kind of laugh a little bit and say, "Baby, you more susceptible to it than I am, and you need to do something." And instead of worrying about if I had it or not, make sure you don't have it. Make sure you don't have it. I'm sure a lot of people are probably not going to put a 1 or 2 in here, but you know, it is what it is.
For several years, the hashtag to know is to live. And many times individuals have asked me, well, what does that mean, Shadana? Why do you put that out there? And so again, today, I'm going to give you a part of my story. So I'm going to take you back and just kind of give you just along the journey. And so I was a 17-year-old adolescent living in Cincinnati, Ohio, and enjoying my life. Oh my God, I went to one of the most popular high schools there in the city, and I was a part of a lot of different programs, one of which I was very, very passionate about, and that was modeling. I was something that I just enjoyed. It gave me life. It saved me from a journey of a young girl who did not know who she was. However, there were some other things that had happened along the journey before I got there. When I was 17, I was a senior in high school, as we stated. And I'm going about my senior year, getting ready for graduation, getting ready to get back into the Army. I was considering a career in acting and modeling. But most definitely, I knew I was going to go to college. Like, college was along my journey. Because as a little kid, I always knew that there were three things that I wanted to be outside of being a model and an actor. I wanted to either be a social worker, an attorney, or a police officer. Since I was little, I was able to read somebody their Miranda rights, and that was who I was. And so I'm going along my senior year, and early part of the year, I got sick. Probably about October, November.
So out of 21 people in here, nobody can answer that question, but y'all scared to answer the question. The question was, had you ever been tested? Or do you know your status? I know some people probably busy, or do we have people in the bushes just watching? I'm curious to know. I know mine. I know last time I went and was tested. This is the problem. People don't like to talk about things. People don't like to talk about it. You have so many people that will come and tell me what somebody, oh, they said you had to, you know, sometimes I get frustrated with YouTube. Not in a way where it's not that they let me have it. I get frustrated because a lot of times we quick to spread bad news, but we hush up when it's on something that can help somebody. When it's something that can help somebody. My God. Now, if I was on here cussing somebody out, everybody be laughing, moving, you. But when I'm talking about something serious, no participation in the comments at all. When I was cussing so and so out, my cash app was swinging, blang, blang. Everybody was in laughing, but now that I'm doing something nice, ain't a cash app, ain't a comment, ain't nothing. And I get a little frustrated with that sometimes. I really do. I get a little frustrated. It kind of pisses me off. And then you have people that say, I'm tired of this, I'm tired of the beef, and I'm tired of that. But then that's the only thing we get numbers on. That's when it's a lot of people up in here watching. Don't say you tired of something, but that's what you show up for to watch. And I'm not saying y'all per se, I'm just saying people. I'm saying people. And I get a little frustrated myself. I don't want to have to come on here the only way that I can people watch. If I'm cussing somebody out, or people say, oh, they'll cash at me $10, $20, say, oh, because you was just so hilarious. Is that that's the only way I get cash out? Is that the only way I'm gonna get numbers? Is to cuss folk out? But when I come on here and do something positive like this, something informative, but yeah, be the same people say they just tired of seeing people go at each other. YouTube is just, those are the things that bother me. Those are the things that frustrate me. YouTube. So I'm gonna end this live and let me do another title, a salacious one where maybe I'm gonna drag a bitch, cuss a motherfucker out, go the fuck in, and then people come watch. I'm sure they'll cash at me. And it'll be every damn thing that everybody wants. Because that's what it is. Stop saying you wanted to stop, but we always motherfucking condoning it. We showing up for it. Of course, you're gonna have people always arguing and going at it because that is what sells. Just like sex sells, that sells. And y'all know this. It's no secret. But I have people that'll say, I'm so tired of all this beef on YouTube. But those are the only things that get people numbered. Now, if I had came over here saying, fuck that bitch, but saying I got motherfucking this and that, and I go in, oh, baby, it would have been over here. But because I came in here and did a different approach to say, you know what, baby, you saying me got that, me having that is not going to be there. But let me educate you because now I'm educating somebody. Y'all see what I mean? This was what can be frustrating about YouTube. Especially when you have people in your ear you have people in your ear. You right, you know what, man, do you with or without that? I know. You have people in your ear. I'm so tired of all this YouTube. But when you ain't doing nothing that has nowhere to be, there's nowhere to be found. Nowhere. And you know what? It's cool. Hey, mama. It's cool. It's cool. And I don't know, these last couple of days, I've just been frustrated with people's opinion, how they look at things. We'll blame people for the same shit that we've done a million times. God damn it. I'm damn frustrated tonight. It's one thing to have an opinion, and it's one thing to just be outright, downright putting yourself into a situation that ain't got nothing to do with you. But a lot of it due to subscribers. Sometimes all they do is negativity. And the said, keep going, man. There's value to what you're sharing. Maybe you should add on advanced implications for what your artists only. Okay, I could. I'm up here. You had this happen. Even with me, so I'm in and out to chat. Good topic. Thank you. You have this happen sitting there. Quite a few people saying, you sick, you AIDS having bitch. And if I had came out with that same damn energy, oh, this try to be popping. Oh, my cash app will be ringing at least a couple of times. But because I came out here with a whole different approach, shit, this shit get frustrating. Anyway, I'll keep going.
I had what I thought was a cold. It was just, common cold.
Well, I don't.
And of course, I'm a teenager. I'm just ignoring it, taking.
Let's listen to another story. I've heard this one so many times.
Yeah, because it usually looks crazy out there. Let's get into what's going on in other news, folks. We are kicking off with a pretty sobering statistic. Black women accounted for 6 in 10 new HIV infections in 2016. Now, that's according to new data from the CDC. Black women continue to be hit hardest in comparison to white and Hispanic or Latino women. Now, one of the reasons, well, lack of knowing your status. The CDC didn't give any specific ways it planned to address this problem, but let this be your reminder to get tested, folks. Know your status.
Didn't I just say that? 6 in 10 new HIV cases are Black women. And the reason is that a lot of Black women do not go get tested and don't know their status. And for the most part, don't know their man is on the down low. I'll give y'all some signs of down low men. And I'm going to give y'all some nuggets right here. Little gem. Most men that getting women or getting sex from women, it's never been a challenge. And it's so easy to get. 9 times out of 10, they have messed around with men. You know how you get bored of eating the same old thing every day and you want to try something new? That's basically that. I've asked some of the men, what made you mess around? So I get tired of them. They so easy. Wow. 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 A lot of guys that you meet in church, a lot of church men, a lot of church men. I stand by that. A lot of church men. My mama said, I don't understand why people always call gay men gay when straight men and straight women have it too. I don't get it. If you have a man that always has an issue with gay men, don't want you around, don't want to be around and talk about it, most of the time, you know what that is? You don't want to be around because you don't want to run into someone you might have had sex with. I remember one of my cousins' friends, they are hard men. And I was cooking. And this nigga kept rolling his eye, winking his eye at me. And I kept wondering, is it me? Am I tipsy? Am I seeing something? And nope, that nigga was winking for sure. Then he ended up, going with my cousin, with her dumb ass. I even tried to tell her, girl, he just hit on me. But some women just don't even care. That's the first thing they say about gay men. Yeah, you probably got AIDS. I'm like, get the hell out of here. You probably got it too, girl. If you think I got it, you probably got it. So, understand, You would think it's something new that they could come up with. Come up with something new. Upward says, I've heard it said, show me a member of the LGBTQ community and I'll show you trauma. Would you agree, disagree? Why not? I will, you know what? That's not always true. Not always true. Not in this day and age. Back in the day. Now, when you say trauma, what do you mean? Trauma is now since they've been gay, some people have went through trauma. But the reason of them being gay is not always trauma. It's not always trauma. But a lot of us have went through trauma once we have accepted our homosexuality. You know, I've had people that I've had sex with try to let me have it with other people. And I be looking like, bitch, do you not remember what we did? What the fuck? You know, it's hilarious. How dare you try to let me have it? And I've had a lot of people like that. A lot of men that have hit on you, you've had sex with them, and then they look at you and they're talking. This man one calling you a fag or a sister. But I have a lot of friends that are no longer here because they were in relationship with men on the down low. And if the men thought they were going to expose them, because some people kill before they want people to know that they gay or they have a gay relationship, sexual relationship with men. I never heard a person say gay women have AIDS, and they do. I know a lot of gay lesbians that have AIDS. You know, I know a lot of lesbians who have taken dick. Even though they're lesbian, they still have fucked a guy. It can be one of those nights. I've had sex with a lesbian. It could be just one of those nights. Yeah, all it takes is one damn time. It's no rhyme or reason. Yeah. You know, me doing a stud is just like still like fucking a boy. Look like a boy, act like a boy. Sometimes I wonder I need to get into a relationship with a lesbian. A good old hard stud. Hell, some of these studs act harder than me. I told y'all I'm never usually tricked. But these studs that day, they look so hard and so gorgeous. They look better than the men. They looking better than the men. I'm like, God damn, she gorgeous. Oh my God, that gun is so good. Um, I'm eating this. Um, Island berry lime. Trident. Oh my God, it's so delicious. Look at that, I'm just hungry. You be so hold on, I'm gonna read these comments. Hold on. Last night's conversation was very interesting to me. It just showed you how people have different ideas, different opinions. I totally strongly disagree with some of them. Okay. Understandable, not always true. I saw an interview where a female had been abused growing up. As a result, she chose to go down. Now, with women, that always is most of the time. Most of the time, they hate it. They hate men. But I'm gonna say nowadays, it's like the end thing to do to be gay. It's like you, everybody want to be gay. Now, I want y'all to see that some of this shit is just ridiculous. And I'm gonna hold this one up for you.
Travel can be a nightmare. Luckily, you rented your car on Turo.
Yeah, hold on, y'all. I'm always wearing these green glasses. Mm, mhm. Hey, no, I'm gonna say a little bit of this story. This is called All the Diamonds.
I fought my whole life. And I jumped. I done jumped. Got shot at. Done shot at. I mean, and a thug is always in the ghetto and always, in the streets, and that's where I'm at. I came up in the streets. I lived in the streets, so I'm a thug.
Hi, Dad. Hi, Dad. What happened?
Like my real family, they probably would disown me if they knew about me. And I probably wouldn't have some of the friends that I got now out here if they knew about me. So that's why someone would want to be down low just from the reaction that other people, they friends would have about it, or their family would have about it. I don't go around certain ones in my family because they give me problems about the life I live. So I'd rather not go around them at all. I got more gay family than I do real family. She was supposed to be back. The gay community is one big old family. It's like kind of like gangs. I was just gonna stop anyway, just to fill out another application. Yeah, I got your application. You need to fill out another application. I got it. D is my gay father. He just always there. If I need anything, he'll call me before I can call him and ask me if I need anything. Where I was at, I probably would have ended up selling dope or something.
Reed, you pay me any attention? You should get up and fix something, bitch. Fix something to eat. You hear me? I said you should get up and fix something to eat. I ain't treat. I cooked last week. No, you didn't. I cooked fish 2 days in a row, remember?
I went to jail and he bonded me out. He paid $300 to get me out of jail. And he took me to get my license and got me a car and told me I couldn't drive until I got my license reinstated. And then he's supposed to be getting me a job. I should have an interview like Monday or Tuesday this week coming. He's just been there, like, you know, the father I never had because I never knew my real father.
Okay. All right, bitch.
Pour me a drink.
Oh, no.
Drink this is. We got some kangaroo.
Oh,
Pour me a drink.
from last night. Yes,
A little bit. I think we got some Kool-Aid. Yep, sure do. We'll get you right together.
It's gonna be a terrible time.
Okay, come on, let's go.
As long as they don't start trying to move people up in this motherfucker talk about like this is a surreal life and shit. You all live up in the same room because I go home, y'all. I can't deal with this shit 7 days a week. High, drunk.
Juvie, you got any cigarettes?
I can't wake up to a man every day. It's not me. I'd rather wake up seeing that sweet, pretty face than a hard, raunchy face. I don't do the tough guys, hard guys, or the soft ones. It's more like drag queen, film queen, like that. If I see a drag queen or a film queen, and I'll be like, you know, just if it's as if it was a woman, I'll be like, whoa, you know, like I like that. I'm about to talk to her. It's almost natural to me, to the point where I can't explain it. It's like I was just born like this.
Every city has a hot spot for the DLC. Okay, let me just talk about this. Okay, see, for me, what y'all just saw with this guy here, that is not. I could tell. I could tell. That's not. See, even his type is too soft for me. The way he held his cigarette, I could tell. Hey, Maria. Um, remember the little girl on the Oprah show years ago? Yes, the one that died. I remember her. Yeah, was it birth? And a lot of people got it through blood transfusion. Out the ass, got it through blood transfusion. But we have a lot of men like the one I just showed you, who sleep with men and sleep with women. Some of these women know, some of these women don't know. Nowadays, you have a lot of women that don't care. A lot of these women don't care. But when y'all say, oh, you got this, you got AIDS, you're not just talking about the gay people, you're talking about everybody that has it. Yeah, especially these preachers. So when y'all say you got that shit, do y'all say that to hurts? I mean, are you saying that? I don't. Why do women do that? You probably got AIDS. You're sick. You know what's sick? The fuck that you even saying it and thinking, you know, to try to hurt somebody with it. That's sick. But it still ain't made me want to go and kill nobody because they said, I keep telling people it should be no words that make you want to go and kill anybody. Anybody. So the little girl the little children that gets it, Ryan, there is Michael Jackson, when I played that opening song, Ryan White. Do you know Ryan White? They set up a thing. He has saved so many people. The funding from Ryan White has saved so many people. What's your say? Listen to Brad. I noticed that too. The way the camera stayed on that. See, yeah, see that you're not no thug to me. You saying it out your mouth, but you ain't really one. Because I know a thug. I know a thug. I don't even hold my secret like that. So, hold on, let me. That is like one of the things that really tripped me out with these people, these women, these ladies. First thing I want to say is, no, you got that. You got that. Are you trying to let somebody have it because they're gay? Or are you saying it is it a bad thing because somebody has it? Is that a bad thing because somebody has it? I don't think that's a bad thing. You know, baby, I've been a two-time cancer survivor. God has really, really had his hand on my life. Trust and believe. This isn't, I'm just, why taking so long? Hold on, yeah.
We are all different, but we have one common bond, our voice. If you would finally like to hear it, then tune into Sisters on blacktvonline.com, where we talk. Welcome, and thank you again for tuning in to Sisters, where we talk. My name is Anita Foster. Today we're going to continue our series on sisters with AIDS, or sisters on AIDS. And I kind of want to...
I said the Bible said, if you declare a thing, that thing shall be established. I don't know about you, but I get tired of waiting. I said I'm tired of waiting. So if I can get some brothers to declare right now, I said right now, God is not into jacking us up and always telling us what we didn't do right. He's not sitting up in there trying to just beat us and condemn us. He didn't come to condemn us. God is not into. I just make jokes. I started a church. It don't. I'm just doing this right now because I want you to feel it in your spirit. This ain't a game. This ain't a joke. You heard it pronounced. It don't mean nothing if you.
Eddie Lee Long was born on May 12th, 1953.
Let's look at Eddie Long, y'all. Ah, okay. Let's listen to it. I want y'all to kind of see this too. Shit. Hold on.
Damn Taurus. I knew it. I knew it. He was raised in Charlotte, North Carolina by his parents, Reverend Floyd M. Long and Hattie Long. After graduating from North Carolina Central University, where he received his bachelor's degree in business administration, he worked as a sales rep for Ford Motor Company.
That's not what I
According to the
want.
New York Times, he was fired over.
This is one of Eddie Long's accusers, though.
Jamal Paris says he's now haunted by a father figure, Bishop Eddie Long, pastor of New Birth Missionary Baptist, one of America's most powerful megachurches.
I cannot get the sound of his voice out of my head, and I cannot forget the smell of his cologne, and I cannot forget the way that he made me cry many nights when I drove in his cars on the way home, not able to take enough showers to wipe the smell of him off of my body.
As teens, Paris and 3 other young men claim Long adopted them as his spiritual sons, then exploited them. Their civil suits allege Long used scripture, cars, jewelry, and trips on his private plane in a sexual seduction.
That's not a father. That's a predator.
Long built this megachurch into 25,000 members. 4 U.S. presidents attended Coretta Scott King's funeral here. He flaunts his wealth and his physique. His so-called muscular Christianity preaches homosexuality is sinful. Now these allegations.
I have never in my life portrayed myself as a perfect man, but I am not the man that's being portrayed on the television.
But here's what makes many church members here wonder. Long has never taken his public denials one step further, never said flatly these allegations are false. All 4 teens met Georgia's legal age of consent, but that's hardly the moral standard for any pastor.
You are not a man, you are a monster.
Allegations that leave Long's congregation trying to decide whether their pastor is a predator. Mark Strassman, CBS News, Lithonia, Georgia.
Wow. Oh, Bishop Eddie Long, voice I can never. Yeah, come on, somebody. At least
how it all started for you. Where did all this, how did it all?
Hold on. At least gay people have preventative medication, but down low don't. They are the many that spread it. Yeah, and that's why a lot of women have it. That's why a lot of women have it. And it is what it is. All right, so maybe I'm gonna do a part 2 of this. I don't know. I've just been frustrated. I've been so frustrated these last couple of days. I don't know what it is, why. Disappointed in people. Disappointed. The hypocrisy on there. And it really makes me wonder if is it me or do some people have their mental capacity, their mental ability, and is it just me that's looking at things in a different way? Because the way that some of these people believe on here, it really, I'm starting to notice. And I'm saying to myself, oh my God. Right is right and wrong is wrong. But I noticed that people can say and be and do whatever they want on here. It's a trip. It's a stone trip. And, you know, I'm not drained, but it takes a lot of energy, a lot of mental energy to actually understand how people can feel certain ways in their ideology and what it is that, you know, when somebody believes a certain way or make a statement, you go, do they really believe that? Are they really serious? You know, I've never usually take YouTube. When I get off here later, I don't never even usually think about YouTube. But lately I have. And I say to myself, is it worth it? Is it really worth it? And I'm starting to think it's not. Starting to think it's not. But with that being said, be different if I was making a lot of money on here. Some of the bullshit I could deal with. Some of the bullshit I can deal with. You come on here, you doing it for your breath, then that's when it becomes draining. Anyway, y'all, support the channel. $313 comedian. Comment, like, subscribe, and share. This comedian Michael Allen. I'm out. Peace.